What's up, horse racing fans? Welcome to this week's episode of the Inside Post. This week we have the Pegasus World Cup at sunny Gulfstream Park down in Florida, giving you our best bets and one long shot play for each of those stakes races on the Saturday card. Capping it, obviously, with the World Cup Invitational as race 13. We're going to start things off in race 6, a mile and a half on the turf, the La Previente Stakes. This is a grade 3 stakes race for fillies and mares. And our top pick is going to be right on the inside, right to the rail, in Romagna Mia, a great Britain-bred horse for Grand Motion and Johnny Velasquez, owned by Team Valor. Beautiful gray mare, 5-year-old, 13-5, 7-2 in 2023. Comes out of 2 wins at Gulfstream Park, going a mile and a half, and at Keeneland, going a mile and a half there as well. Did run on the synthetic, or I believe, or that all track, as it's posted in here at Gulfstream Park. So goes back to the full turf, and I think that's where she is best fitted. I think this is a really good spot play for the day to kick things off on the stakes action, and I think this one, it could be a definite single. If you try to beat her, our Callie Kim would be a horse that a lot of people would try to beat her with, or go 1-2 in here for Brendan Walsh and Jose Ortiz. This horse is 13-8. One of the veterans, 7-year-old mare, out of Revolutionary. Again, a winner of 4 of her last races, coming out of a turf stakes race, grade 3 stakes race at Aqueduct. And our third pick, long shot pick, is going to be Tass. Ran second to Romagna last time out, and ran second the time out before that. So has a case of the seconds at 12-1. Javier Castellano sure knows how to win on big days, it seems like, this past year. So we'll see if he picks things up here in 2024. Jorge Abreu will be training this one. Like I said, Castellano gets the mount again. Finished second, was beaten pretty easily by Romagna last time out, beaten by almost 2 lengths. So comes back in here, tries to get to the lead again, and see if it can hold off our early favorite in number 1. Fourth option, Alpha Bella, another one, Luis Saez, Todd Pletcher. Interesting, went a mile and a 16th on the Gulfstream turf last time out in a $125,000 stakes race. Finished third, so seems to be a horse that could be on the uptick, getting a little bit better. This is a 4-year-old out of Justify, so kind of a young one compared to some of these older mares in here. I just don't know if the horse has the speed or the class to our other top 2 contenders. Race 7 is just a regular race, so we're going to jump to race 8, the William L. McKnight Stakes. This is a grade 3 stakes race. Again, mile and a half on the turf. And again, sticking with the rail, and Francesco Clemente. This is an Irish-bred horse owned by Peter Brandt, chained by Chad Brown, gets Irad aboard again. Obviously, the horse has been over cross seas at Ascot and Newmarket. Done fairly well. Ran at Ascot, I think it was 12th on the Wolverton Stakes, so a big stakes race there. Comes over in some optional claimings, been into an allowance, and then enters into Del Mar's Holiday Turf Cup, the grade 2 at Del Mar, going a mile and a half, and was able to finish second, coming from way off the pace. So look for that type of running style again. It could be dangerous a dangerous play coming in off or coming from the pace, especially in these turf stakes races. But definitely a horse that has a lot of lead speed. And Irad, I believe, is going to set this horse up really nicely in here. Second pick, Stone Age, Irish-bred Ryan Moore, another Chad Brown trained. This one has some heavy stakes class or company that this horse has ran in the past. So comes out of the Fort Lauderdale, comes out of the Turf Classic at Belmont, the Sword Dancer. And this has been just hung up in 5th position in those past 3 starts. Probably going to get a little bit of class relief, but not a whole lot of class relief. These other horses in here are still pretty good. 7-2 is interesting though, just because of those three fifth place finishes, but it is coming out of grade one after grade one after grade one, and has been across these running in grade ones. Ran in the grade one champion at Ascot and the grade one Irish champion at Leopardstown. However, it really doesn't have a whole lot to show in 2023. 4-0, and just 18-2 lifetime, but definitely one to take consideration, especially when these European shippers kind of figure things out. They get a better feel for our American turf. They seem to start running a little bit better. Our third pick is going to be Grand Sonata, Tyler Gaffleone, Todd Pletcher. Another one coming out of that Fort Lauderdale grade two stakes race. So only using this horse as we kind of like the workouts from January 20th and January 13th, a horse that we think is projected to run big in here with another late speed time form US pace setting. So we'll see if that one has another big kick like our favorite on the inside. And a long shot play at 12-1 is going to be Cellist. Martin Garcia for George Arnold. This one is owned by Calumet Farms. Big Blue Kitten Sire. And a 6-year-old gelding in here. 99 speed figure last time out in this Prairie Bayou at Turfway Park. So we'll see if that Turfway form holds up like it was known to hold up last year when horses would ship from Turfway. They would usually win at a big price. So let's see how things kick off with graded stakes races or graded stakes horses coming from Turfway. Very loaded field. Could have 12 horses in this, and every one of them from top to bottom are definite contenders. Race 9, we go 7 furlongs. We have the inside information. Here we go, our first grade 2 stakes race on the card. Another fabulous field of fillies and mares. So here we have number 3, Intrepid Daydream, as our top pick. Tyler Gaffleone, Joe Safi trained, or Safi Joseph trained, owned by owned by Miller Racing. Comes out of a Gulfstream Park grade 3 swirl sprint race, finishing second, 91 speed figure. Speed figures have been consistent, right around the low 90s, higher 80s. Workouts are average, if not a little bit better than some of the other contenders in here. Is usually a horse that is heavily bet at the window. The past 7-8 races, this horse has been the post time favorite. And of course, stepping into that grade 3 stakes race last time out, finishing second. Other than that, it's been in some heavy stakes races. Looks like at Laurel and maybe Delaware, and winning each one of those. So trying to put a bigger notch under its belt, especially with this big grade 2 stakes race. And if you try to beat her, number 10, all the way to the outside, Olivia Darling. Irad Ortiz, Jorge Delgado, AMO Racing team up for this sprint. Another one coming out at the same race as Intrepid Daydream, finishing third to Intrepid Daydream there, kind of posting the same number, speed figure. And those two kind of finished second and third by a neck. I mean, it was really close. So we'll see which one gets the better jump in here. It could be another battle between these two, or if they go out and compete against each other, someone else may sneak up. I believe Olivia Darling is another horse that has some good workouts that are comparable to Intrepid Daydream, if not a little bit better, especially when going in that 4 furlong mark. So definitely one that's in good form, and looks to be setting up to take another shot to beat her. Third, Mary Quite Contrary. All three of these horses obviously could go off post-time favorite. Mary Quite Contrary probably will be post-time favorite. 2-1 currently. Coming out of a big $150,000 stakes race at Gulfstream Park, going a mile, so going to cut back a little bit in distance here. 6-2-2 in 2023, 12-7 lifetime. So has quite a resume builder to come into here and try to pick up a big grade 2 stakes race. And our long shot was back to the inside. 2-item saver, Junior Alvarado, Ignacio Corrales. Another horse coming from Turfway. Again, we're trying to see if this Turfway um, shipper status quo can hang in there and get things kicked off in 2024. Ran in a 6.5 furlong race. Try to come from the back. Another one that could be um, some big late speeds. So two item saver, number two item saver. Watch for this one to come flying late from the back. Junior Alvarado usually is sneaky in these kind of races, so definitely one to watch and maybe take a stab at odds of 12-1. Race 10, we're almost there. Here we have the Pegasus World Cup filly and mare turf, going a mile and 1/16, grade 2 for 500,000. All right, using a little bit of price here, we're going with number 6, Ruby Nell. Richard Mandela, Frankie Dettori, Spendthrift Farmed, sire out of Bolt Diora, 4-year-old filly in here, huge $1.2 million purchase. Comes out of the Lady Shamrock at Santa Anita, going 1 mile on the turf. $100,000 stakes race and finishes first. Did have Edwin Maldonado aboard in there and beat the likes of Justique and Irish Patsy. Definitely was able to get to the inside and look much the best that day. Workouts have been pretty good, kind of what is expected leading up to this type of race. My only thing, the 6-hole with a pretty big field, getting behind could be a problem. This horse looks to be one that needs to get out to the lead. That's probably why it got stuck with this 8-1 mark, just because of that post position draw of the 6-hole. Next, number 4, Star Fortress will be our second pick for Sherry DeVoe and Luis Saez. Comes out of the Churchill Downs Cardinal, grade 3 stakes race winner of that, beating out Saffron Moon and Lovely Princess. Huge late speed on this horse, Star Fortress. So don't throw your tickets away if you see this horse get buried early. It's what it does. It has a time for US pace rating of 137 as a late pace speed. So definitely one that's going to be flying early and definitely, hopefully, coming up the rail if the rail is open. 7, Fluffy Socks. Gotta love the name. Iverad Ortiz and Chad Brown hook up here again, coming out of that grade 1 matriarch at Del Mar, finishing second behind Surge City in there and posted a 96 speed figure, which has been the best speed figure since the horses ran back in May in the distaff. So we hope that it can turn around and post up another big speed figure in here. Another one that is going to be flying late and coming from the clouds, as to say. So we're going to have basically our top 3 picks coming from the clouds. So again, it's going to be a wild one. And we love it. That's why we bet these animals. And number 11, Long Shot Mission of Joy. This one gets Johnny V with Grand Motion for Ryzen Sun Racing and Matticock Stables. This is a Kitten's Joy 4-year-old, just purchased for $32,000, 9-4 lifetime and 7-3 in 2023. Career best speed figure last time out, 98. And I believe it was the grade 1 Keeneland Cup or Queen's Cup, mile and eighth on the turf. Workouts average. The big thing, 98 speed figure last time out, career best. Horse likes to go to the lead, or could sit just off the pace. Horse has a pretty good late kick, but nothing as big as our other contenders. But definitely one that if just they let it go, or if it presses the lead and sets its own pace, this one could cause trouble and be a spoiler at a big price of 10-1. But again, another loaded field and a great race on the turf. All right, race 11. We got 1 mile, the Fred Hooper by Whispering Angels in here, the grade 3 stakes race. Here we have the likes of Jazzy, Bob Baffert, and Zidane Racing Stables as our top pick. Comes out of that grade 1 Malibu, getting beat out by the other Baffert Speedboat Beach. Looked to have been the second best, obviously, that day. I don't think anybody was going to beat Speedboat Beach coming off of that layoff or second time off the bench. It's definitely just way too much. Hijazi is probably the horse of the field in here, and a lot of people may single him. Um, Definitely worthy of that. Again, 299s in this last two starts. Um, if Speedboat Beach is not in that race, Hijazi is the Malibu winner. It's just as simple as that. So definitely looking to get back in the winning ways, especially in a grade stakes race. And if we try to beat him, we're going to use number 8, Accreditive. Rad and Chad Brown again hooking up Klarovich Stables. This one is out of Practical Joke, a 5-year-old. Tossed out the Cigar Mile last time out, finishing 10th there. Was beat out by Hoist the Gold, Senior Buscador, a couple of horses that will be in the Pegasus. But looking at that 49er, the grade 2 at Belmont at Aqueduct, finished third in there. Was beaten favorite. The horse has been right there, so close every time. Third, second, and to first. Looking to kind of take another step forward, or edge out some of these other competitors, right, instead of getting beat right at the wire, not having enough room at the end. Third choice, Steel Sunshine, Paco Lopez in here. Another one, again, comes fourth out of the Harlan's Holiday. O'Connor, Grand Aspen, again, horses that are in the Pegasus, is the horses that have beat it out. So looking, again, pretty good speed figures. It's why we're using Steel Sunshine in here, and I think one that could possibly run with Hijazi or have a late run at Hijazi would be Steel Sunshine as a late pace horse. Cyclone Mischief. This one's a big question mark. Again, second time off the bench here, coming off of the Kentucky Derby run. Goes into an optional claiming, finishing fourth in there to a pretty weak field. So interesting to see what this one does second time off. Obviously, the horse is better than that. Third in the Florida Derby, third in the Fountain of Youth, and then a disappointing Kentucky Derby. So, what is their plans for this horse? It's definitely better than what it's been doing. So, look for this one to take another step forward. I think, especially just coming off of a huge layoff. Del Roman should have this one primed and definitely ready to go. Race 12, mile and 8. This is the big turf race, the Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational. And our top pick, again, most people are probably going in here with warm heart for Ryan Moore and Aiden O'Brien. Yes, the European shipper coming in to play spoiler in this American Pegasus Turf Cup. Yes, this is going to be a lot of people's single on the day, probably heavier than the Jazzy or even one of our early cards or one of our early races in races 6 or 7 where we put were Magna Mia. So definitely this horse is really good. Again, when horses come over, they just crush our turf horses. It seems like this one's coming from Hong Kong in the Voss Grade 1, a mile and a half. They're finishing third. Did run in the Breeders' Cup, Fillion Mare Turf at San Antonio to finish second in there to Inspiral. And then went on a tear, 2 grade 1s in a row at one at Great Britain and one in France. So the network Yorkshire Oaks is where this horse won at Great Britain. Has ran at Ascot. Again, has a list of wins and well reputable races across the seas. So definitely one that's coming in here, looking to do its job and go back home. Maybe stick around for a little bit, but more than likely win this race and go back home. Second, we're going to use integration. Tyler Gaffleone, Claude McGahee, a lightly raced horse. Holy cow. The horse wins its maiden, Colonial, going a mile and 16th on the turf. 85 speed figure in there with Tyler Gaffleone. Immediately goes to the Virginia Derby. Grade 3 stakes race, again, Colonial on the turf. Wins. 96 speed figure. Okay, the horse is getting better. Why not point it to somewhere bigger? Let's try grade 2. Tries the grade 2 Hill Prince, a mile and an eighth at Aqueduct. Boom, wins. 98 speed figure. Again, improving on the speed figures each time out for this horse. Unbelievable. Um, Philly out of Quality Road for West Point Thoroughbreds, 3 for 3 lifetime. Why not? If the horse is 3 for 3 and it's done all of that in 3 starts, a grade 3 and a grade 2, enter it. Enter it in this race. Let's see what it's got. Let's go. 3-1. So obviously this horse is definitely well respected in here, and I think will probably be second choice to Warm Heart, and very likely just because of the resume and the speed. Third, we're going with a big price. I'm very busy. Chad Brown, Arad Ortiz, um, a 4-year-old out of Cloud Computing in here. Second in that Hill Prince behind integration. So interesting there if they think integration is good enough out of that Hill Prince. I'm very busy at 15-1 is worth a stab for an exact or even a trifecta chance in here. And then, of course, we got good old Web Slinger. This horse has been around the block: Belmont Derby, Saratoga Derby, Twilight Derby, and the Holiday Derby. 3 grade 1s and a grade 2, hitting the board in 3 out of those 4. Just a horse that's been all over since, um, I guess you could say, since winning the American Turf at Churchill. So definitely a horse that's built its resume in lifetime 13-4-4, over $1 million in earnings. 15-1, let's take a shot. Tyler Gaffleone did jump off of this mount, and so did Javier Castellano to pick other horses in here. So Edgar Zayas will get the mount for Mark Cassie, so take note of that. Obviously, Tyler Gaffleone sticking with his integration, but I think Web Slinger still has some value at 15-1 and definitely using underneath uh, Warm Heart. All right, the big race for the day. We finally made it. Race 13 races, 540 start. We have the Pegasus World Cup. Going a mile and an eighth. Huge grade 1 stakes race for $3 million for these 4-year-olds. And of course, a lot of talk around National Treasure and First Mission. Our pick is going to be First Mission. Yeah, I know the horse hasn't really done a whole lot. Went into that Lexington as a probable Kentucky Derby favorite. Gets hurt, goes to the vet or goes to the training barn, resting barn, whatever you would call it. Comes back, wins an $80,000 claimer, and then goes right into the Clark and finishes second off of that optional claiming layoff, second time layoff. Here we go. Let's enter it into the Pegasus. So we have a horse coming in third time off the bench, off a pretty good layoff. 5-3 lifetime, so lightly raced compared to some of these other horses. 102 speed figure, but it's going to have to beat some of the other horses that had it raced against in the Clark. Trademark comes back in here. Il Miracolo comes in here as well. I just think they have high expectations for First Mission. Brad Cox, Go Dolphin as well. Believe that this horse is something special, and so why not throw it back in here again for a huge grade 1 stakes race. Of course, it's going to have to battle with National Treasure on the inside to see if it can outrun Bob Baffert. So you got Baffert and Pratt teaming up on this 9-5 favorite currently. Obviously, I'm running second to Cody's Wish. And it's going to get respected in the betting window. Huge workout post that this horse has done. It's Bob Baffert coming into a big graded stakes race on a big day. Probably one of his top horses right now in his barn. That's over the 3-year-old mark, I guess you would say. And our third pick is going to be Hoist the Gold 12-1 with Johnny Velasquez for Dallas Stewart, 5-year-old out of Mineshaft. Comes out of the Cigar Mile winner in there, beating out Senor Buscador and Castle Chaos. 109 speed figure, career best speed figure for this 5-year-old horse. So still has a little gas left in the tank, especially on a muddy aqueduct surface. This horse will probably take a little bit of money just because of that last time out and the form that this horse seems to be in right now. Did finish 6th in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, won the Grade 2 Phoenix, 6th in the Pat O'Brien. So the horse is either going to be hit or miss. In here, has some early speed, early pace, so one that could definitely run out with National Treasure. And our long shot. Where'd it go? Skippylongstocking. I know it's not a big price at 8-1. Tyler Gaffleone, Savvy Joseph, Exaggerator, 5-year-old in here, purchased for $37,000, earns over 1.5, 6'2", 1-1 in 2023. Was beaten out by Cody's Wish and National Treasure in that Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. Takes a little bit of time off. Hits the training track. Workouts look fabulous, and is pointed right back in here to this Pegasus World Cup to face off against National Treasure yet again. I like that Tyler Gaffleone keeps the mount in here after 2 starts. Winner of, I believe it was the Charlestown Classic, a Grade 2 stakes race, and just gets beat out by National Treasure and, like I said, Cody's Wish. But definitely one with some early pace and late pace that could be comparable coming in here, especially National Treasure is probably going to go out early. And then it's going to be, a duel between First Mission, Skippylongstocking, and maybe National Treasure as they come down the stretch. Really like the 101 and 102 speed figures the last time, 2 times out for Skippy. So we'll see if it has anything left to throw at National Treasure on this big $3 million purse Pegasus. So there's our picks for each of the graded stakes races for the Pegasus World Cup Day, including our top pick of First Mission for the Pegasus World Cup Invitational, $3 million on the line at Gulfstream Park. We thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe and hit that like button as we are nearing Kentucky Derby time, and we will start throwing out Kentucky Derby prep videos every weekend as we near closer to the first Saturday in May. Thanks for watching.